Have you ever looked up at the sky and felt that familiar sense of wonder? We often do, don't we?
Hmm.
But how often do we really think about the truly transformative power of what's happening just above us,
Yeah.
often completely unseen?
Right. It's easy to miss.
Today, we're taking a deep dive into the fascinating world of aerial imaging. And this isn't just about, a drone taking a nice picture.
Not at all.
This technology is rapidly reshaping whole industries, uh, agriculture, entertainment, in ways most of us are maybe only just beginning to grasp.
Absolutely.
Our mission for this deep dive is really to pull out the most important insights, maybe some surprising facts, and help you understand what these eyes in the sky actually mean for different sectors
Yeah.
and just for your own understanding of the modern world.
Yeah, it's quite pervasive.
We're basing our exploration today on a pretty comprehensive market research report. It gives a really detailed look at the trends, the opportunities, challenges, and the, frankly, astonishing future of this tech.
It's a solid report.
Okay, let's unpack this then. To really get the impact, we need to start with the basics. What exactly is aerial imaging?
That's the perfect starting point. So at its core, aerial imaging is about gathering and manipulating pictures taken from the air.
Okay.
Think satellites way up there, traditional airplanes flying lower, and increasingly drones. Lots of drones.
Right.
And these aren't just holiday snaps. They're precise data points, full of information, used across a really diverse set of applications.
Like what specifically?
Well, detailed land surveying, high-precision mapping, optimizing farming practices.
Yes, farming.
Interesting. Oh, yeah. Precision agriculture is huge. Also, assisting in real estate and even crucial environmental monitoring. It's really about leveraging that bird's eye view for practical, actionable intelligence.
The sheer number of uses is pretty amazing. That kind of leads to the next question, right? What's fueling this explosion in growth? Are there specific innovations or market demands pushing it?
Yeah, definitely. What's fascinating here is that the growth is powered by, well, a powerful synergy. It's tech advancements meeting real industrial needs.
Right.
First, there's just this escalating demand for high-resolution photography, pretty much across every industry you can think of. Then you've got the growing use of geographic information systems, GIS, which fundamentally relies on this kind of precise visual data for, spatial analysis.
Right, the mapping side.
Exactly. Plus, huge developments in drone technology itself, making them cheaper, easier to use, more capable. That's a massive factor.
Okay, I bet.
And with that, the spread of commercial drone services has just exploded. But maybe the most compelling driver now, artificial intelligence. AI for picture analysis.
Okay, how does that fit in?
AI takes all that raw image data and turns it into actual intelligence. It enables much more effective data collection, and it's really transforming decision-making processes everywhere.
Wow. I mean, I was genuinely struck by the numbers in this report, the projections. It estimates the market at about, USD 6.5 billion in 2024.
Around that, yeah.
But then it projects a leap to over 17.6 billion by 2032.
Incredible jump.
That's a compound annual growth rate, a CAGR, of 13.20%. When you see a number like that, what's your immediate take? What forces are driving that kind of aggressive expansion?
My immediate reaction is this isn't just a passing trend, it's fundamental. It's a shift in how governments operate.
Right.
That growth is absolutely driven by strong demand across loads of sectors. We're seeing it profoundly impact government planning, energy resource management, defense strategies.
Defense, too.
Oh, big time. Agriculture and forestry, construction and archaeology, and of course, media and entertainment.
You mentioned Nearmap earlier.
Yes, Nearmap is a great example. They're a leading location intelligence firm, an authorized U.S. GSA contractor. They're providing sophisticated geospatial services to federal government entities already.
Okay.
Which just shows how deeply embedded and critical this tech is becoming, right at the highest levels of operation and strategy.
So with that kind of growth, I'm curious, which specific sectors are showing the most significant demand? Like, where's the real action influencing that market value?
Well, we see particularly strong demand and market influence coming from agriculture and forestry, construction and archaeology, and definitely media and entertainment.
Media and entertainment.
How
so, specifically?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say it's quietly having a pretty substantial influence. It's not just about, cool movie shots. Think live events.
Ah, right. Concerts, sports.
Exactly. Aerial imaging provides real-time comprehensive views for security, crowd management, even dynamic broadcast graphics.
Okay.
And that demand for immediate, high-quality data, it pushes the envelope for everyone. It speeds up innovations that eventually benefit other applications, too.
Makes sense.
And in construction, while it's increasingly used for very precise land mapping, remote site research, checking on progress, and archaeology, it's fantastic for non-invasive investigation of historical sites. You can see things from the air you'd never spot on the ground.
That's fascinating. So here's where it gets really insightful, I think. Let's talk geography. Where is this booming market actually concentrated? Where's the most intense activity?
Okay, the regional breakdown. North America had the biggest slice in 2023, around 35% of the total global market.
35%.
Yeah, and that dominance is largely down to the region's booming trade, big economy, large factories, and just consistently strong drone demand, especially in the US and Canada.
Right.
Europe follows that with about 30% market share. That's driven mainly by infrastructure projects, real estate needs, countries like the UK, Germany, France showing increased demand, big manufacturers there, plus lots of agricultural drone use.
Okay, so North America and Europe are the big players currently.
Currently, yes. But the Asia-Pacific region is the one to really watch. It's experiencing truly accelerated growth, holds about 25% of the market right now.
And growing fast, you said.
Extremely fast. Its expansion is fueled by expanding commercial opportunities, rising government spending on development, governments shifting towards using more advanced tech, increasing drone demand generally, and just a surge in imaging applications across all sorts of sectors.
So what's the projection there?
Well, the report anticipates the Asia-Pacific market share will actually increase to 29% by 2025. That represents the highest CAGR at 12% among all regions.
Wow.
Countries like China and India have this immense need for aerial imagery. Think infrastructure projects, agricultural development on a massive scale.
Right.
And it's worth noting, China is still the main drone supplier in that region, which also helps fuel its own growth.
Okay, so it sounds like a thriving, dynamic market. Also, I imagine, intensely competitive.
Oh, absolutely.
Beyond just, standard R&D and mergers, what kinds of specific strategies allow players like EagleView, Nearmap, Cooper Aerial to stay on top in this space? It's changing so fast.
That's a really key question. It is intensely competitive. The report does highlight those three, Nearmap Inc., EagleView Technologies Inc., and Cooper Aerial Surveys as the most significant organizations currently.
And their market shares.
In 2023, EagleView had a dominant 19% share. Nearmap was at 16%, and Cooper Aerial Surveys at 12%.
Okay, so how do they maintain that edge?
It goes beyond just generic R&D. It's often about their deep vertical integration, sometimes proprietary data capture methods, and just the sheer volume and historical depth of their image libraries.
Cloud data itself is a moat.
Exactly. They're not just taking pictures, they're building these unparalleled geospatial databases. And that continuous investment in innovation, product enhancement, plus strategic moves like M&A, alliances, that lets them expand product lines and their global reach. The report also expects it to get even more crowded competitively by 2024. New players are likely focusing on those high-growth emerging markets, especially in Asia-Pacific.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It's clear there's massive potential, rapid growth, but even the hottest industries face hurdles, right?
Yes.
Looking at the report, what are the main challenges? The things that could potentially slow down or complicate this industry's really impressive path?
Yeah, this raises an important point about limitations. The primary hurdle, undoubtedly, is the divergence in regulations. Drone rules, UAV rules.
Oh, the legal stuff.
Exactly. It varies so much across different regions, even within countries. Imagine trying to run a global operation when you've got this patchwork of regional laws creating confusion, significant compliance challenges.
That'd be a nightmare.
It can be. Inconsistent rules on flying licenses, height limits, no-fly zones.
Yeah.
It can severely hamper actually using these technologies and expanding the market.
How so?
Well, you have some nations with maybe more relaxed laws trying to foster innovation, become tech hubs,
Right.
while others have really stringent regulations, maybe reacting to privacy concerns, safety worries,
Yeah, you hear about that?
and the result. Much higher costs for businesses trying to navigate these complex legal frameworks, get multiple licenses. Plus, you can get project delays because of drawn-out approval processes. It's a real bottleneck.
Okay, so regulation is a big one. Beyond that maze, are there financial or maybe infrastructure challenges impacting growth? perhaps limiting who can even get into this.
Absolutely. Infrastructural constraints and cost considerations are definitely significant issues, and yes, they impact market accessibility.
Wow.
Well, high initial cost, advanced drone tech, specialized imaging gear, the software needed, it can be genuinely prohibitive for many potential users, especially small and medium-sized businesses,
Right,
right?
you can see that.
Even if you see the potential benefits, the sheer expense of buying it, maintaining it, training staff, it can be discouraging. And then you have to add operational expenses like comprehensive insurance, specific licenses, ongoing regulatory compliance
It
costs.
adds up.
It really does. And these budget constraints, they tend to restrict the market primarily to the larger companies, the ones who can afford those big investments, which, might lessen overall competition and potentially slow down innovation in the long run.
That's a crucial point. Understanding those roadblocks is important. But
Yeah.
let's shift perspective. Looking ahead now, what exciting technological breakthroughs are we expecting? Things that might overcome these challenges or unlock even more potential in aerial imaging. What's coming?
Okay, yeah, the future view. What's particularly compelling here is how technology just keeps pushing the boundaries and actually addresses some of these challenges directly. We anticipate some pretty significant changes.
Like what?
One major development is the deeper, more seamless integration of machine learning and AI. We touched on it, but it's going deeper.
Right.
This is expected to drastically improve data processing capabilities, leading to much more advanced aerial imagery analysis, automated insights. Think urban planning, construction, agriculture again. Imagine AI just sifting through huge data sets instantly to find problems or optimize routes.
That's powerful.
Definitely. We'll also see continued advancements in the image sensors themselves. We're talking cutting-edge tools
Right.
like multispectral cameras.
But what do they do?
They can see beyond what our eyes can, reveal hidden details like crop health, even pollution levels, and then there's LiDAR.
LiDAR, right. Using lasers.
Exactly. Using laser pulses to create incredibly precise 3D models, even through dense trees, which is invaluable for complex city planning, checking infrastructure, or those archaeological surveys we mentioned, where normal photos wouldn't work as well.
Any examples of this tech in action?
Yeah, a great example mentioned is the UP42 Vexel partnership. UP42 is a big marketplace for Earth observation data, and they've partnered with Vexel, who are known for really high-precision aerial imagery.
Huh?
And that collaboration shows how companies are combining these huge data sets with superior capture tech to offer truly cutting-edge geospatial products. That's the direction things are moving.
The better sensors, better AI. What else?
Further development of drone tech itself, including advancements in things like swarming capabilities.
Lots of drones working together.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And enhanced autonomy, making them smarter, needing less direct control. This will dramatically improve operational efficiency, data collection, make missions faster, more comprehensive.
Okay.
And finally, something potentially huge, the widespread integration of 5G technology.
5G. How does that help aerial imaging?
It could revolutionize it by allowing for real-time data transfer and prompt analysis and decision-making. Imagine disaster relief efforts being guided moment by real-time aerial views streamed instantly.
Wow, that's a game changer for emergencies.
Or think about a city's traffic management system instantly rerouting cars based on live aerial data from thousands of drones, almost like, I don't know, a neural network for the city.
Incredible potential. So if we pull all those threads together, these advancements, what's the overall impact? What does this mean for how aerial imaging is actually used?
Well, these advancements, working together, they'll spur creativity, definitely broaden the range of applications across almost every industry, and significantly improve the whole value proposition of aerial imaging. It's really about getting more precise data, more actionable data, getting it faster, and ideally more affordably over time. It just fundamentally changes what becomes possible.
What an incredible deep dive this has been. We've seen how the aerial imaging market is just so dynamic, changing so
It
fast.
really is.
Driven by amazing technological innovation, rising demand across so many different sectors, and of course, the ever-expanding use of drones.
Indeed. And the value it offers is immense. From vastly increased data collection capabilities, potential for significant cost savings, to improved efficiency in fields like media, government, construction, agriculture. It's broad. And as we discussed, adding in cutting-edge tech like AI, machine learning, those advanced sensors, it's just enhancing its capabilities constantly, unlocking entirely new ways to use it.
And while those challenges we talked about, the complex regulations, the financial hurdles, infrastructure constraints, They certainly exist.
They do.
The market is undoubtedly poised for substantial development and innovation, especially as technology keeps advancing and hopefully those regulatory frameworks become a bit more unified. That push for consistent global standards must be huge.
It is. We really project a prosperous future for this industry. It's expected to flourish for many years to come. It'll keep attracting investments, driving more tech advancement, as businesses everywhere truly recognize how important aerial imaging is becoming for improving efficiency, for making better decisions. It's becoming, an indispensable tool.
So here's a final thought for you listening. Imagine how aerial imaging might soon be integrated into our daily lives. In subtle ways, maybe, but profound ones. From how our cities are planned, maybe how our food is grown, even how we respond to natural disasters. What new eyes in the sky might we see emerge? And how will they fundamentally change the way we understand and maybe interact with our world?